We're thrilled today to be joined by a member of the Big Brother 24 cast, Joe Pooch Pucciarelli, who was evicted in week 2 of the season. Pooch, welcome to the bitter jury. How's the adjustment been to the real world now that you're back with us?
Man, I appreciate y'all having me first out, man. Really wanted to do this, so appreciate it. But yeah, it's been crazy, man. It's been the best way I explain it is I'm a normal ass dude. I still am. You know, life's been a little crazy. Social media wise and stuff. But, I go back to just hang with my friends and family. That's my post. That's where I was raised. So that's what I've been doing for the last week and a half. And, I was in LA for a month, 2 weeks in the hotel, 2 weeks on the show. So it is a long time being away from friends and family. So just happy to be back hanging out with them.
Yeah, welcome back to the East Coast.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I've always wanted to ask this. You've mentioned you're a fan of the show, and now that you've been there, you've been a house guest. What experiences, met your expectations going into the show, and then what was, something that was really different, being a fan, watching it versus being there in person?
Yeah, so the best way I try to explain it too, it's everything I expected, but also nothing like I expected. So it ended up. And it's little things too, right? Like went on the show 1,000 cutoffs. Not the muscles are big or show something. But it's so friggin' cold. They keep the house on like
I've seen that.
Yeah, probably like 60 degrees. Same. They're like, why people wear sunglasses inside? Because if you look up at the lights up top, you'll be blinded. So it's crazy because it very much is a house. Feels like a house, but at the same time you're living on a set. So it's the whole. Teeter-tottering back and forth of like, hey, you're living in the house, but you're actually on the TV set. It's kind of crazy. So definitely one of the biggest adjustments.
Did you find it difficult to, sleep at night knowing that the cameras were still on and people could just watch you as you're sleeping?
So honestly, not at all. The biggest, not issue or the biggest trouble I had sleeping was because there's no light switch. They shut it off when they want.
So it's the producers decide when it goes off?
Yes. But so like if you go to sleep and if you're in a room and you're not with like 2 or more people, the lights will never go off, or if you're if it's the middle of the night and someone, taps you, you start talking a little game and it could go, if it goes more than about 45 seconds, those lights are going on and you're like, fuck, and everybody's pissed at you. If I could curse, sorry about that. I gotta watch them now.
No, please do.
Yeah,
please do.
Let it fly. Yeah, we've got the alcohol and the cursing all good.
For sure. But that was one of the craziest things, especially trying to get some sleep in the house.
That's a good point. Like I don't sleep well around people I don't know. So I feel like, kind of seeing Paloma go through what she did, I kind of see myself doing that because I would go in and be like, oh, I don't know these fucking people. Like,
absolutely. It's a lot of trust to live with 15 other people that, God, you hope that nobody's crazy and they weren't. I love them, but you never know. I mean, you're sleeping and God forbid something goes down, it happens,
Yeah. Well, we have, I don't know if you know much about the three of us, but we're all pretty super fans as you are. I'm wondering with obviously you and, Joseph's bromance.
For sure.
There's been some pretty iconic bromances over the seasons. And I can list a few if you need help, but where do you think you would stack up against some of those guys?
So I'll tell you some of I'm a big Chilltown, Dr. Will, Mike Boogie, and I know everything going on with them now, but I still love both of them to death. Big reason I got into the show. One of my favorite seasons was season 7 when they were on All Stars. Absolutely. When Mike Boogie won, loved both of them. I loved Zach and Frankie. I think they're friggin' hysterical. That reminded me more of Joe. Me and Joseph are both straight, obviously, but nothing's, but it was hysterical. That I think they were hysterical and we were very similar to them.
Well, and so, in my kind of taking notes, if I had to wedge you in between somewhere, it would be between like the Brett Winston and between the Zach and Frankie with, again. And I kind of chuckled about it because Winston actually lives in the same city as me.
Really?
So I've gotten to hang out with him a couple times. And, seeing you and Joseph, I'm like, man, here's these 2 jock guys, cuddling up, working out, doing their thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Joseph is a dude. And I wish it went, obviously my time lasted a little bit longer because the content y'all would have got out of that would have been incredible. That was in like a friggin' week span. Because the first week it wasn't too, you still learn to get to know people. And then once you get comfortable, especially with another guy, it's something where you don't have to worry about, not that you don't have to worry about, but the whole with consent and you just, if you're doing that with a female, you're more, do they have a boyfriend? Do they have a a husband, you know, a wife in the outside world. So, you know, when you're with your bro, you can just be bros and not really worry about that in a sense. You know, you don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable. But me and Joseph from the bat were like this, and we knew, you know, we could just mess with each other, have some fun.
Yeah.
How did that clip that you were like, I'm the dominant one? Like, like, how did that come to play?
That is my favorite friggin' clip, man. And it's the crazy stuff because you talk to the cameras, you do all that stuff, and you expect those clips to never be seen, you know? So when they are, it's hysterical. But yes, so I usually mess with Joseph, have him around. So finally he started giving it to me. I'm like, no, dude, get off me. I was like, he goes, well, I can't do it to you. I go, I'm not submissive. He goes, neither am I. And we just started cracking up. We started crying. Very funny, man. Very funny.
Oh, yeah, I love that clip. But yeah, you've talked a lot about, like, you know, on other podcasts, how you can't wait to, you know, have 15 lifelong friends after this summer. Sure. Why do you think that you guys got so, you know, close so quick? And talk about you and Turner's relationship as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Which I like to, because I feel like the show didn't give enough light to me and Turner, because we're actually, me and Joseph like this, me and Turner are friggin' whatever, however tighter. But going into the game, the easiest way, or you hope that you don't get along with people, a few in the sense, because you're like, when you get rid of them, you don't give a shit, you know, you don't give a fuck. So they're gone, you know, you get rid of them, you play the game, that's fine. So going into the house, I was like, I'm a fan, you know, I knew I wasn't gonna be a Florida and I wanted to go after big targets. But as soon as I got in with the guys, I was like, yo, I want to go after big guys, strong guys. I freaking loved all of them, you know, and deep down, you know, being a football coach, being around locker rooms, playing college football, I'm a bro's bro. It's where my heart's at, you know? So if you give me a good group of guys, dude, I will go to war for them. And that probably hurt me to a fault because I was too loyal in a sense, but I still love them to death. But, you know, Monty, Kyle's mom is incredible. I've had not more conversations, but more phone calls, obviously, with Kyle's mom. We went on TikTok Live a day ago. She's hysterical.
So you're a big mom guy, huh, Pooch?
We're not gonna. Mom's around, so we're not gonna go there. But I tend to dabble a little bit. But yeah, man, it's an amazing group of young men and women. Obviously, I just click super hard with the guys, you know. So I truly cannot wait. Like, I'm already trying to start setting up trips. Like with college football, I'm a big college football guy. If I could get 2 or 3 of them, and you know, back to back weekends, we go to Rutgers, Penn State, you know, Boston College, and do the whole tailgate game day. Do a podcast or something before sports wise, and, you know, do that whole thing. I would love that. Would be amazing. You know, that'd be awesome. But getting into the whole relationship with Turner, man, it's hysterical because we are so different dudes. You know, I'm more clean cut, sport background. He's long hair, doesn't shower, which is hysterical. But tattoos, we're just like, you go in, open a night, and you go to the backyard, and you kind of, it's human nature. You eye everybody down. You know, you're checking everybody toe to bottom. You want to see, you know, will I get along with this person? Can I work with them? And just from appearance, you look at Turner, and he said the same thing. Looked at me and said, okay, that guy probably not going to be on my side, you know? And I don't know how it happened so quickly that we clicked, but we did, and it was amazing. And at first we were like, bro, we're such different people. People are never going to think we're working together. And then we were like, we'll stay away from each other. Man, we got along so great that everybody, like, I'd be in the HOH room and people would be looking at the cameras. We'd be all up there and people would be going, well, they'll be like, look, Turner's looking for Pooch. Turner's looking for, and you see Turner go room to room looking for me. And it finally would come upstairs. And, you know, I love Turner to death, and it hurt our game a little bit because we couldn't hide that more.
I mean, do you think, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Charles.
No, I was just going to say, do you think that you randomly had that bond because he's more submissive than you?
I don't know if that's it. I know where we're going with this. I don't know if that was it, man. But it's like opposites attract, man. And we attract just in that sense, in that friendly, I mean, brother for life. I'm so happy he lives in, I think, Massachusetts or Boston, and that he's close because we are going to be hanging out a ton. Y'all will see it, man. He's amazing.
Yeah, it's a shame we didn't get more of it because Turner and Pooch was a great duo name. So
sure.
Really missing out on that. Speaking of Turner, give us your assessment of his HOH reign. Like, how do you think it went? Like, are you rooting for the Pound Alliance, which was quasi named after you, with the Pooch being, yeah. So give us your thoughts.
Yeah, going into the dude, and I have to give Turner so much credit because this week he could have done the easy thing again, you know, put Taylor on the block, and I was hoping so bad he would not, you know, because she was a free agent in the game. And I explained this, and I hate that they didn't put it in my diary because his diary rooms, you know, they want to make it, you know, so they boosted my ego. I feel so safe. And I felt okay, but I would say I feel so safe. But if these girls don't put their differences aside, vote me out, and use Taylor as a number for them, I was like, they'd be dumb. And I underestimated them because I did not think they would do it. And they only did half of it. They got me out. But Taylor, I mean, the guys used Taylor more than the girls did. And that's why Amira ended up going home. And I love Amira. I was in the bar last night and I FaceTime Amira and it was hysterical. It was amazing. Yeah,
how's she feeling?
I mean, we've texted more than we've talked because she's getting out, has a lot going on. So through text, it's hysterical because my first 3 or 4 texts to her were I think I said, "What's up, you clown?" I said, "I told you should have sent my ass home. I would have had your back," like LOL smiley face. Yeah. And I was looking to see because I was like, I think she'll know who this is, but I'm not sure. And so I just text at the end. I'm like, hey, just in case you didn't know, because I know my phone was blown up. I was like, it's Pooch. She texts back in 2 seconds. She goes, I know it's you, you asshole. We started going back and forth. She goes, because when I was like, hey, I have your back. She goes, you told everybody you had their back, which was true. But I was like, I meant it to you. So, Amira's been great. We FaceTimed yesterday. It was very loud, noisy at the bar. But definitely we said, hey, we're going to hop on an IG live soon. She's doing some media stuff. Well, obviously wants to take it, she needs a little bit of space, from everything. I mean, it's a lot.
Sure. So
I get that. So we've been texting. I'll give her another phone call. But she's doing amazing. Amira is so intelligent. And that's how I felt. The 3 biggest targets out of the women in the house were, I feel, Taylor, Nicole, and Amira. Because they have 3 minds of their own. And that's a great thing. Those were 3 minds where I felt like some of the other girls you could persuade, and if you could persuade, they're worth keeping around. And those were 3 people, no matter what happened, I knew if I had to persuade them, I was going to be in trouble. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Again, for me, going back to the super fan, I'm interested to hear who your favorite and least favorite player of all time is through any season you've watched and why.
Oh, interesting. So obviously the first one, I have to say Dr. Will. Absolutely, man. I tried to use his tactic, but I fucked it up. I tried to be. He would say, "You
weren't going to bring it up, Pooch."
I believe that. But because he would say and manipulate and be like, I'm a doctor. I don't need this. I don't need to be here. Like, I'll leave this. And, I have money. I'll be fine. And he played that game of, I'm not scared to go on the block, but he actually never put his own ass up on the block like I did. So, if I get another opportunity, now I know, can't be that fearless. So definitely love Dr. Will, man. He's just unreal. Incredible. I think the best player of all time. And there's a lot of great ones. Janelle, Dan, I think are amazing. Just so strong competitors, strong-minded. And they have, when you could win and you have a strong personality and you can't flow through the game, I think it makes it even more difficult because you can't hide. You truly can't. So to make it to the end, I think is amazing. Least favorite, I'm trying to think, man. And I know going through this process, and I gained a respect. And there was people, house guests, I was like, I'm not a fan of, but knowing how difficult it is to get in the house and then be on the show, man, it is friggin' tough. So so much respect that, I grew for a lot of the house guests, even ones I did not like. So to say my least favorite of all time would be tough right now, man, because I have a lot of love, and the BB alumni have been so strong and reaching out, been amazing. So I truly appreciate that. It's meant the world.
I like the PC answer there.
I know.
No.
He's part of the community.
No, that's great. And,
for sure.
And to that point, you're right. Again, getting to talk to Winston and stuff like that over time. It's, obviously you go on a show and know that people are watching and judging you. So you get these, oh gosh, I don't like this person. I don't like that person. And then you see the bond that, those of you who have been in the house have after. And, again, there are people that I still, as a fan, just absolutely can't stand from.
I got to hear who are some that.
Oh gosh,
Charles has big opinions about the worst.
I do. My favorite is Evil Dick.
Oh, okay, for sure.
Again, so I'm all about the strong personality. I'm all about that. Least favorite for me, Andy Heron.
Yeah,
wasn't a fan. This makes Daniel a little salty, but I'm not a Nicole guy.
Okay.
Which Nicole? Anthony?
Nicole Franzel.
I
actually don't like Nicole Anthony either. Right?
You probably
but that's the thing too. I feel as if, and not for me to ramble since this is your time, kind of one of the things too, like in getting to meet and talk to Winston, like I absolutely did not like his gameplay. And I told that to him in his face. I was like, dude, you're an asshole. This was stupid. I didn't like it. but he's a great guy. You know, I've had drinks with the guy now, and it's like, you know, thankfully, you know, and we've talked about this on our podcast. I watch strictly to watch the show, so I feel as if I can dislike someone from a game standpoint, but disconnect that, you know, from a personality thing.
Yeah, that's so important. It's, man, I'm trying, and it was so bad, man, because I went out a couple nights ago, and then I came home and I hopped on Twitter, you know, because I couldn't fall asleep. And I just started going at people, and it's a waste of time, you know. And BB alumni have been telling me, Winston reached out for Instagram. He was awesome. It's just a waste, man, because I know the person I am in my heart. I explained this on Cody's podcast, The Winning Circle. You know, I love people. Every type, shape, size, color, man. Hopefully y'all can tell I'm a passionate person. I friggin' love people. You know, so, and I know that. So to get on and people like, you hate Taylor, this, that, and people get so mad that I say, I see myself in Taylor, or vice versa, because we are such strong personalities and we say what's on our mind and we don't care, like, you know, what you think in a way, in a sense. We're not disrespectful to people, but sometimes things we do rub people the wrong way unintentionally, you know, and that's just life.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, what's been your craziest interaction outside the house? Obviously, you've been on the media circuit, you're blowing up on social, you're doing the IG lives. Like, what's your craziest interaction been outside the house?
So I won't even say craziest, because going out, a lot of people have been coming up, which I love, because I love talking to people, bullshit with whoever. But one that was super, you know, I guess humbling in a way, but awesome. I actually went to go get lunch. Me and my brother rented Chipotle, and a mom with a group of 3 or 4 daughters came, and you could tell my brother was like, they're talking about you. I think he was probably not. He was like, they're saying a lot. He was like, they're like pointing, that's him. They were like, I just watched them Google you just to make sure that it was you. So they went through the whole line. They're like whispering, not saying anything. And then finally the mom, right before they came up, it was hysterical, because I even got up at one point to go get a drink. And my brother was like, yo, they got so scared they thought you were leaving. But they finally came up, asked for a picture. The 3, and this sounds weird, I hope this doesn't sound creepy, but the 3, you know, cute as just little girls, you know, and it was amazing in the point where hopefully you're making a positive impact, and hopefully I was on a young child's life, man, because I think that is so important. Anything I could do to help where, and I explained it, man, I had a learning disability. I was a kid who got extra time in my tests in middle school. And now I have 2 degrees, you know, and I couldn't speak properly, had a bad lisp, you know, I needed my mom, my confidence was very low. And, you know, I realized, and it's crazy because my brother was always where things came naturally, great at sports naturally, you know, Mr. Funny Guy, you know, people loved him, girls. So, but in a sense, I saw that and I said, you know, I know I'm shy and get very uncomfortable, but in a sense, I was going to grow the fuck up. Like in this world, and I'm seeing my brother do it. Like if you go take what you want, like that's how you get things done. And that's how the successful people in this world are. They go and fucking get it. And it made me uncomfortable. I didn't like it. I still don't like it, in a sense where it's like, I hope I don't come off dicky now, but I realize you just got to be yourself. And when you stop giving a fuck what people think, that's my best advice. You know, even now, I'm not used to the social media, the TikTok. So I'm doing them yesterday at the beach. And I'm like, I feel like the biggest asshole, the most cringy, where you like people like probably look at that fucking guy. But and I'm still working on it. You put it, you go, I don't give a fuck. I like putting out content. I like hanging out with my friends. I like people seeing that shit. I think it's fun. I hope people think it's fun watching. So just learn not to give a fuck and you'll be okay, I promise.
Yeah, love that. Love that you're willing to open up about that too, man.
Absolutely.
And just real quick follow up, how was Julie Chen? Because we're all huge fans of Julie Chen Boobez. Who isn't? But how was the interview and meeting her?
Dude, friggin' she is, and I know she's married. This isn't me shooting my shot. Gorgeous. Absolutely friggin' gorgeous.
He's a boss bitch, dude. What are you talking about?
Boss fucking bitch. And I love that when, if she thinks something you did in the house isn't right, she calls you out on it, you know, whether it's gameplay, personally, like she will call your ass out. And I think it's because I saw it too, where people like, oh, Pooch is going to blow up when he leaves the house, his big personality. But I would never do that because I respect the game so much. You know, it's something where when I heard, if y'all saw, which you saw my face, I go, if y'all saw my face, like you did it, you saw my face. I'm sitting there and I'm smiling in a sense because I'm like, this is so cool. I'm on the block right now. I'm on Big Brother. I was like, Julie Chen, you're going to tell me I'm out the fucking house, so your boy made another week. So I hear the votes of 12-0, and I'm like, oh, 12-0. I was like, I know at least I have Joesph and Turner in my pocket. So I was like, that's 100%. I was like, your boy is good. I was like, I got to get up, hug Taylor, wish her the best, and then go get changed, put the clothes on for the HOH competition. So I hear that, and then Julie Chen says, "Pooch, you're evicted." My mouth is just, it was absurd. But Julie's amazing. I think she, obviously, which I'd say she handled the interview great. That's her job. She's amazing at her job. Did it very well. And it's crazy because I didn't know it was not live, obviously. They didn't tell me till a little bit after that the episode got moved to Sunday. But yeah, it was a blast. I love Julie Chen. Big fan, obviously, of the show. Big fan of hers, for sure.
So let's talk a little bit about that week. So I'm assuming living in that house, it is a constant state of paranoia. But was there a specific moment nearing that eviction where your senses, spidey senses kind of went off a little bit and you're like, this is different than when I went into the week. Something is different. What was that moment?
So there were two, and I'll never forget them. And they stood out. They were just, and I knew when my game was in trouble, 100%. So right after the mermaid competition, which if there's one regret in the house, it's that fucking competition. I didn't win it because I was flying, dude. I got the most balls down there. I just could not hit them in the thing because the feet went away. Makes me so friggin' mad. But right after the veto competition, so all the girls, so the reason, and I thought this would help my game, because all the girls were very cliquey in a sense, where it was like 2 or 3 to a pair, but not one big, mega girls. And, I think it helped that once they had the HOH room, it was like a safe haven in the sense where, now they could go up there, really quick bond, and that's what happened. So right after the veto competition, all the girls go up, which didn't happen often, and then Michael. And I'm sitting out there, and I was like, I put myself up as a pawn. I'm part of this plan. I feel like they might not be talking game, but right after the veto, it's very obvious. I was like, I should probably be in that room. I should probably be in there. But in a sense, it's like, dude, if you talk shit about me or to me, I like it to my face, not behind my back. And in a sense, I probably knew what was going on. But me disrupting it would have done what? It would have happened at some point. They would speak. And actually what they were speaking about, I learned, was Michael putting Joesph up next to me, or using the veto and then putting Joesph up next to me, which I probably would have stayed, because Joesph is a stronger competitor. So if that happened, love Joesph to death. And I would have said to them, because they probably would have been like, yo, Pooch, are you cool with us long term if we do this? I would have said, yeah, I'm with you. Like, I'm cool. It's cool putting Joesph up. But I'm telling you, I would have came with a fucking vengeance for my boys. It's smart they didn't do it. And obviously everything worked out gameplay wise for them. But the other moment, I was talking to Alyssa, and there's one person, but you learn people's personalities, and I learned Alyssa's very sense where I think it would have been tough for her to lie to me, which she did anyway. But she broke one time, and this is when I knew I was absolutely fucked, done for it. I'm speaking to her, and I'm like, Liz, yo, I have your fucking back, man. I was like, is something going on? I was like, I see people sneaking off like to the back room where the girls all live, in like the space room. I was like, I see shit going on. I was like, I have your fucking back. Like, what the fuck's going on? And she slipped. I don't think she meant to say this, because she brought up, she's like, people nervous as an all guys alliance. And then she was like, yeah, whoever made the whole Oasis thing is like that. They shouldn't have done that. And I'm like, no. I was like, no.
Because you thought it was still secret at that time, right?
Yes, very much so. The one time we all met together was one time when I was holding the pool stick. I looked like a friggin' idiot. I looked like a friggin' mobster. It was in the have-not room when it was me, Turner, Joesph, Kyle, Monty, when we solidified it. And that was it. And we would spoke about, and the way it happened, just coming up with the name, we were playing bumper pool upstairs, and sometimes you got to knock balls out of the way. And I was like, yo, I'm going to send this ball to the fucking Oasis. I'll get this shit out of here. And then we thought it'd be a great name. And I thought it was the best name of an alliance that never fucking worked out or panned out. But once Alyssa said it, I knew I was done for, because I was like, hey, that means the girls have spoken about it. Who are they going to want to get out? The headless snake of somebody who started the guys alliance, Mm-hmm. So I was like, I know all the girls must have spoke about it. And what's the other smart thing to do? Go to the 2 guys we didn't fucking include, throw them in there and say, hey, look, assholes, this guy Pooch made an all guys alliance and didn't freaking put you in it. So how do you feel about that? So once I was sitting on the block, and that was Wednesday night, man, I unspiraled. I knew I was sinking. Wave mode did not work. I don't know if y'all saw it, but late at night, Thursday morning at like probably 3:34. So I started going to each guy to see if I was like, yo, did y'all fucking say something? And I apologized, and I was so wrong. I thought it was Joesph because of how friendly he is with the girls, because everybody loves him. But I was like, Kyle's my guy. I was like, I was so loyal to the bros that I thought they would never, stab me in the back. And it did happen. But I bet for that game, that probably was long term. But I went around to each guy, And I brought it up individually, and I finally walked by the bathroom. And I saw was it Kyle, Joseph, Monty all by the bathroom late at night. And it's very hard for us to all be in the same room. It's like rarely happens, or when other people aren't there where we can really talk game. So I didn't want to bring it up that somebody brought up the All Guys Alliance till after the eviction, if I was still there, to kind of keep it under wraps, which it wasn't at all anyway. But I was like, we had it, and they were like, yo, is everything cool? We're good. And I was like, honestly, I'm gonna fucking say it now. I was like, somebody said something about the All Guys Alliance to the fucking girls, and I was like, and we're fucked now. I was literally like, I was like, well, y'all might be good, but I was like, I'm fucked this week. And I was like, if they win the next HOH, either they're gonna pull 2 of you guys to go with them and start going after the other 2. But I was like, now we're gonna have to go at each other. And I was like, we're fucked. So, and we had that conversation. And then a mirror happened to walk by. When you're doing something like that, you can't just, it's very funny because when you're talking game and because if it's a group of people, and then if you walk by and, it just gets quiet or it gets awkward. So it's like, oh, like they're just starting a story. You're like, I fucking know what's going on. I got to go to the bathroom. Give me 2 seconds and y'all can keep fucking going, But a mirror came by and I was like, fuck, now I got to keep a mirror, like make it not look weird, even if I do have a chance of staying. Because now this confirms the All Guys Alliance. So we're hanging out by the bathroom. Michael comes over. It's like 3, 4 in the morning. And it's just, they could see, man, I am on spiral. They thought maybe I was going crazy. I'm sitting by the sink. They're all sitting down. And they're like, dude, Pooch, just go to bed. I was like, no, I'm good. I was like, I'm fine. But they knew, dude, I was on spiral. And I was trying to save myself. I was sinking. And same thing, Amira brought up in that conversation, because I don't know if she felt bad or it slipped, but she said, there's sounds of an All Boys Alliance. And she was like, somebody heard you say, I was talking about the HOH room, because I was talking to guys. And I was like, they think it's their fucking palace. Like, wait till the boys get it next week. I was like, we're going to be in the fucking rooftop suite. Like, y'all just wait.
I heard that quote last night on the feeds.
So fucking, that killed me. But I honestly thought that it's just because I suck at whispering. So I'm my dumb ass. I'm thinking everybody still has my back. I'm like, I'm a loud person. I was like, I was trying to think, because you say so many dumb shit in the house. And that was a dumb comment, obviously. But I was like, if I say something that dumb, I make sure nobody's around, and just the guys probably. But I was like, maybe somebody whispered was around the corner. You just never know, and you get paranoid. So I was like, either the guys went to the girls and told them I said that exact line. If that happened, I'm absolutely fucked. I was like, or I was running my mouth and somebody was like in the bathroom and didn't realize, or around the corner, and I'm giving the boys a pump-up speech and didn't realize, So those were the moments I knew I was probably in some hot waters. Absolutely.
I'm going to take another little sidebar here. Yeah. If you've randomly listened to our first couple of episodes of the podcast, they already let you know that I'm super opinionated, and I was just like, I fucking hate listening to Pooch talk. I can't stand this guy. I don't want to do it. But taking a serious note on that, when you made your plea to the house guests, and obviously made it known that you have gone through speech therapy and all those sorts of things, I immediately put my head down and was like, oh my gosh, I'm such a fucking asshole. So I will apologize for that.
No,
and it wasn't,
you're good.
It's not even that. But with that being said, my opinionated comment on that wasn't even about how you talk. I was just like, oh my gosh, this guy, I can't fucking stand how he talks. But with that being said, like shut up and let me watch the game.
Exactly.
But seriously, talk to me about that and kind of what you went through with that. Because again, truthfully, I can't tell that you have gone through that. And so it's really cool to me that you are able to speak on that. Truthfully, in spite of my opinions, I'm a pretty sensitive guy. So again, I'm
absolutely.
like, oh my gosh, I think I'm going to go to hell because I said something bad about this guy.
No, man.
But no, I would love to hear about your journey with that and kind of, where you were and where you are now.
Yeah. So I was young. So the first memories I remember having was, I think my parents, because I was quiet as a kid. I just wouldn't speak, and I was just a quiet kid. So I think my parents thought there was, I don't want to say it like that, like there's something wrong with him, but he has some issues, some mental disability. So I remember, the one people I would be more comfortable around was my family. So they finally, my grandpa, I guess my parents were working. My grandpa dropped me off to somewhere where I was basically getting tested, assessed. And I was sitting with a woman, a trained professional, And, it's crazy because it's super smart. Now they basically play games with you. So they start by making you comfortable playing a board game or rolling the ball back and forth. And, as a kid, I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know I was getting tested to see, if I was having disabilities and, learning issues. And, so I would get in the car, my grandpa would pick me up, and I was like, Grandpa, what was it? Why did I just have to go and play with this lady, play board games with a random lady? Yeah, board games with a random lady for an hour. And, he was obviously just didn't want to say, he said, oh, Joseph, we want you to have fun. She's a fun lady. We just want you to have fun with her. So that's kind of how it started. And then it was just obviously once I did actually start speaking a little bit, man, my list was bad, struggled, a little bit of a stutter. So it was things where in first to fifth grade, how it works, if you're in class, and they have these issues, they have trained professionals at the school, but obviously it's tough going after hours and before. So what they do is literally pull you out of class for 45, 50 minutes a day, and you go meet with these, this group of kids and whoever the trained professional is. And same thing, you kind of play games, and then they turn the games into training, obviously your mouth and your speech, and you're kind of go around from that aspect. But the thing that's tough as you get a little bit older, so now going from fourth, fifth, sixth, when more kids know what's going on and they start paying attention to you leaving class, that's when the bullshit happens. That's when speech is Pooch is going, I don't even want to say the R words, but Pooch is going with the R words, Pooch is going with the special ed kids. And it's something because I played sports, started getting more comfortable, better at sports, which helped me, grow and get more comfortable with other kids and kids on sport teams. But, people, and especially, man, and kids don't mean to, the kids are probably the most fucked up because they just don't know. You truly don't know. You're so young and immature. So that's really where the first time it starts to come. And that's when you're really get it. And I think I truly did grow out of it. And not just grow out of it, man. I worked my ass off. And thank God to shout out PS3, the first middle school I went to, man. I don't remember the speech pathologist's name, man, but I could tell you I sat down with her for countless hours, and it's something where it makes you not feel weird in the sense because I enjoyed it going and leaving class because it was awesome. I got to sit and, talk with some other kids that had some even worse problems than me or struggled even more than me. So getting to that point, and that probably makes sense why coaching is my passion and, just helping people because because once I got more comfortable, I felt like I was able to help the other kids in the group. And then the speech pathologist and the tutor saw that, and it was we all end up helping each other, man. So it was a crazy journey. I loved it. It's something where I wouldn't be where I'm at today without going through that shit. I promise. And I owe it to sports, man, coaching. The fact that there's been times where I've had to get up in front of a whole, program, meaning 100 kids on the team, 20 staff, support staff, and give a speech or a comment has been crazy. So, and it was truly all starting with a speech, impediment, which is crazy. But that's why for any kid out there, man, just keep going. Be comfortable being uncomfortable. That's my biggest thing, and it'll help you grow so much for sure.
Yeah. I love that. And, I coach as well. And we found out that maybe you're a tennis fan a little bit.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Sonic Center, baby.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And so I coach tennis. And so I love that, you even touched on that and the experience. And it's also kind of why I wanted to ask you that question because, I've coached so many people that have something going on, whether it be ADHD or speech impediment or whatever. And it's just been so cool to give them something to look forward to that makes them feel normal and being able to connect. So again, my apologies to you, my friend, but seriously, that seriously touched my heart when you did that.
Bro. Promise.
Go ahead.
You're good. No, go. You're good.
So I think you touched on this on the Block podcast, but I'm going to switch gears completely. What's next for Pooch? I know you talked, Barstool maybe as an ideal setup for you. Sure. You've already touched on the college football podcast too. So what's next for Pooch?
Yeah, man. So I've had opportunities to get back into college coaching. At pretty high prominent universities. It either wasn't the right fit or not where I would like to live right now. And it's something where I know working that profession, you have to give it your all. You have to, man. Or you're doing the team a disservice, the kids a disservice. And I'm not ready to do that right now. I'm not ready to sit and, watch film and for 16, 17 hours a day, wake up at 5:30, 6 a.m. and stay there till 12 at night and do football. I love football. And that's the thing, because you question, do I truly love the game? I love the game. The way that, the industry is. I don't love that because it takes away from your family, your friends. You know, it really dictates your life. So that's why I love sports. Like you're saying, tennis, hockey, basketball, friggin' football. I watch it all, man. And not just like casually, like pretty in-depthly. Like if there's something going on, a tennis tournament, it's going on in France, and it's, you know, the whole time, I'll stay up till 2, 3 in the morning to watch that shit. I remember the French Open, I was sitting there at absurd times watching, you know, so it's kind of crazy that, so yes, doing something in sports media where I can kind of dictate my own schedule, but also keep, you know, in the range of sports, go to all these sporting events, you know, and still be in the experience, you know, not be on the field coaching, but be around, man. I don't even think I would say big enough, man. I'm nothing now. I'm nothing. But if I can get to a point where grow my own personal brand and get to, you know, some partnership, do something, just get my foot in the door with Barstool or something like that, and be amazing, man. I'm gonna start putting out different Pooch merch and stuff soon. So, you know, just stuff. I'm really rolling with the ball. I promise. I'm trying.
Hey, send us first Pooch merch. Send us.
Dude, for sure. Once, I promise you,
send us the link for sure. Yeah,
we're in the idea process, but once we spoke to a couple people. Once we start getting it out there, I promise y'all will be the first one to start getting stuff. I swear.
I love it.
For sure.
Random question though, not to cut off anybody, but who is your favorite tennis player?
Dude, so I love that American tennis players are getting more prominent, you know, than they have in years. So I love Taylor Fritz. I love Taylor Fritz, man. I think he's awesome. I don't know if he's my favorite American tennis player, which, you know, I'm more just, you know, I want to see them do well because it's, you know, they haven't been so highly ranked. I saw Medvedev is back at the top, and I watched, I think it was Hurkacz beat his ass before I went into the Big Brother house. So I don't know what he did to get back on top, but he must have been crushing it. I'm trying to think who else. The Canadian August Alice
Felix
FAA.
Sure,
FAA, dude. He's unreal. The kid that beat Rafa on clay, Alcaraz is crazy, man. And just maybe because I got into tennis like the last year and a half, and you know, really getting into it is crazy, man. I am like obsessed right now. So it's kind of wild, but yes, big, I guess newer tennis fan, but I'm fully invested. I promise you.
If you're going to be at the Open by chance, let us know because some of us may be there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think my dad went last year, and he's not even a tennis fan. Somebody brought him, and it's just an awesome experience. So that's something I would love to do. And if I could work out my schedule, 100%, man, 100%. I would love, because I haven't been to one yet. I used to live in Delray. So I almost went to the Delray Open, but I couldn't because of work and coaching. But I definitely, knowing that now, 100%, I won't say 100% I'll be there, but probably pretty damn close chance I'll be there for sure.
Well, even on a Big Brother podcast, we can't avoid the tennis talk. But Pooch, we appreciate you taking the time to chat with us today.
Awesome.
Is there anything you want to plug, your social channels, anything you got going on in the immediate moment for our listeners?
For sure. So I make it easy. My Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, it's all Pucci_Maine. It's like Gucci Mane. That's why I made it. You can remember it.
Okay.
I'm really putting myself in the ranks for Gucci. You need to relax, buddy. No, but just make it just so it's catchy. I'm gonna keep putting content out there, and not just for the. I love it, man. Doing the whole IG live, the TikTok, dude. I could sit there for hours, and I have no voice because I keep doing that shit, man. But I just love it. You know, I'll be watching tonight's episode. Gonna be exciting. Can't wait. It's gonna be an exciting week of Big Brother, man. So. Y'all will hopefully be seeing more Pooch, man. I hope y'all enjoy that. I know I don't shut the fuck up, and that's part of the problem, but it also helps me in a sense. For sure.
No, we love that. Everyone go give Pooch a follow on social. Thanks again, Pooch. You're welcome back anytime. We had a great time watching you on the show. So
absolutely. I definitely at some point I'm gonna come back talk tennis on the tennis podcast. I would love that.
100%.
You don't know what you just got yourself into. So
I'm getting praised right now, man.
But now you're gonna have to pull me as a special guest if he's on there. I mean, come on.
Awesome, man.
All right, thanks again.
All right, Pooch, thanks for taking the time.
I appreciate it, y'all. Y'all have a good week. Have a good fun day Sunday. I know I am.